member, and then you can put up your favorite sports stories right on the site. It's Sports World Radio's own sports social media site. So check it out, sportsworldradio.info, and become a member today. All right, so let's bring in our co-host for today, and he'll be sitting with us on Tuesday as well, and on Thursdays, our good friend, the host of Chillin' with Jeff and Kenny C. Kenny C, what's up, buddy?
I'm good, man. It's pretty good Monday. I can't complain.
Can't complain, huh? How's the weather out there?
It's right around the 70s right now.
So it's nice, huh? No sun,
Yeah.
no rain, no cold, just nice right now, right?
Yeah, not too high, not too low. Pretty much right down the middle, but the weather will eventually decline. As we all know, fall season is here. And at the moment, I do live in an apartment, so I don't have to worry about raking the leaves, which is probably the one thing I dislike the most about the fall. So that going for me.
Right. So I started the music, excuse me, and Gio came on in and he said hello, and he said, "Hey Jeff, I'm the fourth in a fantasy football league," which forced me to go over and look at our fantasy football pick'em league that we got going on. And for those of you who are playing, excuse me, thank you very much. And for those of you who aren't playing, there's still time to get on in. All right, so after this week is over, and we have a game tonight still, I'm still sitting in first place. But there's been a lot of movement, excuse me, underneath me. I have 38 points. Dez Dispenser jumped all the way up to second place with 37. Renegade's got 36. Gio's got 36, and Schmedley's got 36. So we have a three-way tie for third. And Kenny C has 35. Thaden has 35. And Ebes, who was second, jumped all the way down to being a tie with Kenny C, Thaden as well. And they're tied for fourth, for fifth, and sixth place right there. So it's going to be kind of a fun thing to happen. And then, of course, Pink Sheet Boy, Gary One on Bandits. He's in ninth place, tied with Lions from Lee Summit. They both have 29, and that's basically it. Everybody else stinks. So I'm not going any further than that. And I'm kind of shocked I'm still in first place with all the crappy points I got this week. I think I got a total of 7 points this week. I'm waiting for my screen to flip over. I got a total of 8 points this week. I've gone 8 and 6 so far. Thanks a lot, Baltimore, you asses. Thanks a lot, Cleveland, you jackasses.
Actually, you picked Cincinnati.
I know. Thanks a lot, Cleveland, for winning.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. It was just, I guess that's the beauty of the NFL. I mean, any team could beat anybody except for Jacksonville, but that's here and there. I will say this, man. I guess the one game that disappointed me the most was Baltimore. Even with Flacco's 5 interceptions, they still had a chance to win.
I know.
And they just couldn't pull through.
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
I mean, Buffalo, they get all confident at home, but, maybe there's some second thoughts of giving Flacco all that money now.
Oh, I know why all you guys had less points than me this week, because everybody picked Tampa Bay when we got to the Tampa Bay, Arizona pick, and I switched it to Arizona, and I ended up winning. That's why
I picked Arizona.
You picked Arizona too?
Yeah, I picked them when we made our picks on Saturday. I didn't switch my pick on that one. They had the rookie quarterback playing his first start, and shockingly, he played better than Carson Palmer did, but Arizona still managed to win the game.
Yeah, I know. And you guys all picked Kansas City, and I took the Giants, and that was a debacle and a half. You want to know something? I got up, I watched the game, I was on my computer when I think it was McCluster that did the kickoff return and ran it back for a touchdown.
Yeah.
I turned the game off.
Yeah, I guess you must have missed the part that he did Victor Ortiz salsa dance.
Yeah, I saw that, and then I turned the game off. It's the Giants are going to lose, and I just turned it off. I didn't want to watch it no more.
I mean, and Justin Tuck, what was interesting about that is he's still sticking with Coughlin. He said, any of you Giants say anything bad, gonna get punched in the
He's
face by
right.
me.
He's right, though. It's not Coughlin's fault for the way they're playing. Coughlin's not throwing the intercept. And not only that, on Friday's show, I asked the pick a side question. You remember the pick a side question I asked?
Yeah, I did remember.
Friday show. Either Eli Manning's going to have 4 interception, or Alex Smith is going to throw his first, and everybody else went with Eli, and I went with Alex, and I was right.
It's shocking. Well, not all that surprised that Alex Smith coming into that game, he didn't turn the ball over. He had 0 turnovers, period. Like, the good thing about the Giants is the fact that Mr. Conservative, Alex Smith, he turned the ball over. He had a lost fumble. But Eli
threw an interception.
Yeah, and they gave away that punt return touchdown.
That killed him.
I mean, Andy Reid, whatever he's doing or whatever he's saying, got this team believing. And people will say that Chiefs are probably the surprise team of this early season. I would say Miami, because that wasn't much to expect from Miami. But Kansas City, they look like they could challenge Denver for that AFC West title. And I'm looking forward to see that offense go up against their defense. You know, we definitely gonna see how Peyton Manning and that offense go. But as for the Giants, even though they lost, that division is still up in the air.
Look at Ebo. Ebo says, I'm calling shenanigans this week with my picks. I did my picks way too early in the week. Well, if you would have came on the show with us Saturday night, you would have made your picks then.
I mean, it was just we all picked the same teams on a couple of games, and just I don't know. Last week was, to me, was worse than yesterday, because that was just a debacle games.
How the hell does Cincinnati lose to Cleveland? Come on, Andy Dalton. Come on.
I mean, usually those games kind of either high scoring or close down the wire. And it pains for me picking Cincinnati. They lose. But I got to hand it to Cleveland Browns, because after that Trent Richardson trade, people were saying that team was tanking. Well, here they are. They limit Adrian Peterson over 100 yards last week, and they beat their in-state rival. And they found themselves 2-0 since the Trent Richardson trade. And this dude named Brian Hoyer.
I guess they found themselves a quarterback, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's going to be the quarterback long term, because he's been playing for a while. He's mostly known for being Tom Brady's backup with the Patriots, but I don't think Cleveland will be in a rush to bring back Brandon Weeden. He's 2-0, and you know I believe they tied with Baltimore and Cincinnati 2-2. They are tied for the lead of that division. Who would have thought that the Browns will have a better record than the Steelers? I mean, it's just. But I give kudos to Cleveland. They play hard. Organizations can tank, but it doesn't mean that the team that's playing has to tank. They played hard yesterday. Got to give it up to them.
Was there any team? No, it doesn't look like it. I was going to ask if any team didn't score yesterday. So it looks like I got the Jacksonville pick right, with them scoring the least for the week. They scored 4 points less than the Giants did, and 3 points less than Cincinnati did. That's a joke, man.
I mean, could this team, Jacksonville, dare I say, go 0-16?
Could very well go 0-16.
Now, that game was close in the early going, and they put the pressure on Andrew Luck. He did have like maybe a couple of interceptions, but once Luck got his act together, the Colts just dominated that game, and they are now 3-1. And thanks to Houston loss, I guess they found themselves on top of the
Houston's got a problem.
Yeah.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah, that was the craziest game of yesterday. I mean, Houston dominated that game in the first half. Russell Wilson just had issues. It looked like Houston was going to pull away with this game. And then Matt Schaub just went downhill. And that interception to Sherman, and he had one shoe came off, and he still went into the end zone.
That's crazy, huh?
Yeah, and after that game, a lot of Houston Texan fans were not pleased with Schaub's performance.
He looked like a rookie quarterback.
And there was a video of fans burning a Matt Schaub jersey. That's you have a bad game when fans decide to burn your jersey. But who else do they have at the quarterback position other than T.J. Yates?
T.J. Yates is going to replace Matt Schaub? I think not.
His record is 2-and as a starter.
I think
when he filled in for Schaub a couple of years ago, 2-3, and he did win a playoff game, albeit against Cincinnati. But Houston just gonna have to get used to Schaub. Kubiak is not gonna bench Schaub. I think he's gonna stick with him at least for the rest of the season. And who knows? Maybe they'll find a quarterback to focus on the future.
You think last week was easy picks? I'm looking at next week's games already. Oh my! Are you kidding me? Cleveland hosting Buffalo, Chicago hosting New Orleans, Cincinnati hosting New England, Green Bay hosting Detroit, Tennessee hosting Kansas City, Indy hosting Seattle, St. Louis hosting Jacksonville. Who the hell's going to win that game? Miami hosting Baltimore, Giants hosting Philly, Arizona hosting Carolina, Dallas hosting Denver, Oakland hosting San Diego, Houston going to San Francisco, and the Jets going to Atlanta for Monday night. That's crazy right there. These games are not getting any easier to pick.
No.
It's not getting any easier at all. Like, I'm looking at this first game, Cleveland hosting Buffalo. Are you kidding me? Really?
Yeah, Cleveland looks more like a winnable game for Cleveland than Buffalo.
Yeah, tell that to Buffalo, who just beat freaking Baltimore.
Yeah, they did, and 5 interceptions.
You know what I'm saying? It's getting tougher every stinking week, man.
I mean, the thing with Baltimore is you spend all this money on Joe Flacco.
Well, they lost a lot of people, man.
And you lost nearly 18 players from that Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
And Jacoby Jones, who got hit in the head at a strip club by some stripping in Sweet Pea of all people. You know that's embarrassing when you are a football player and you're the one that gets attacked by a female stripper. That's embarrassing, but that's here and there. Baltimore is now they're lucky they tied for first in this division. But Flacco cannot afford to turn the ball over the way he can't afford to have these games. Because Cincinnati gonna still be in the hunt, and Cleveland, I'm not gonna get too high on them, but they're tied for first, man. Flacco's got to get it together.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting next couple of weeks because you got some teams who are desperately need some wins. You know, you got some teams who are gonna be playing some tough games to continue their winning streak. You know, like Dallas is playing Denver next week. In Denver, I believe that's where I've seen it.
I mean,
Dallas is in deep crap. And you want to know something? That NFC East division, Denver's going to Dallas. That NFC East division is the crappiest division in football right now.
Not a single team has a winning record.
Dallas is leading the division with a 2-2 record.
Yeah.
Which means the Giants are only 2 games out of first place.
So it's not that. So there's still hope for your Giants.
Right, because you want to know something? You want to know something? Realistically, 8-8 or 7-9 is going to win that division.
And remember, regardless of what your record is, you win the division. That's an automatic postseason.
All you got to do is get into the playoffs. You never know Look what happened to